Hey there, Melissa with Atlas CFO, and today we're going to talk about some really important tips that you should look at before you hire your next in-house accounting and admin person. Okay, let's get started. Why is this so important? Because gosh, hiring is so very expensive. Sometimes we think about the expense of the salary or the payroll portion, but that's not where the true cost comes in. The true cost comes in if we hire the wrong person or for the wrong role, or we hire somebody that just isn't a good fit. That's what we're covering today. We're going to give you a bunch of tips and a bunch of ideas so that you can hire the right person at the right time. First thing I want you to think about is, what do you really need? Like, do I need somebody at this high level? Do I need somebody that's really amazing at making sure my job cost is right? And this one determination that we're going to talk about more through the rest of our time together today will help you hire the right person for you today. You want to make sure that you're hiring the person that's going to help you move the business forward and not hire at the wrong level where you actually then have to hire another person just to move the business forward. This slide is so useful. And so just take a minute with it. And if I was better at presenting things, I would have put it in a triangle because it actually operates as a triangle. So just walk with me through these 4 layers, these 4 stages, these 4 levels of accounting. All 4 of them are very, very important. There isn't somebody that's like, oh, this is more important than the other one. No, you have to have all of them. It's just that we will hire different people to do each layer because there are some people that are better at it. So think about a triangle, a pyramid, and at the bottom is transactions. And what this means is we're going to have all the transactions going into our software because we can't move to the next layer, the next level, the next stage until we get all the transactions in. The next piece is reconciliation. So making sure everything's in the right spot, it all ties, it's pretty, it reconciles. Then financial statements, and then finally strategy and CFO. Understanding that this is the structure of how accounting data is built helps you get the right person in the right spot at the right time. Because if you need transactions and you hire at the other end of the pyramid, you're going to be frustrated with the results. I'm going to break down each one of those layers for you, but first I want to talk about some common mistakes we see whenever someone is going to hire. And the first one's probably the most common, which is I'm going to hire clear at the top of the pyramid and then just let them figure it out. So let's break that one down. Let's hire somebody at the top of the pyramid and let them figure it out. That can absolutely be just fine, but you need to be able to have the financial capacity to hire at that upper level and then probably still need to hire somebody at the transaction level. We have had amazing transaction specialists that are able to do reconciliations and do financial statements. And so some of our transaction specialists are so incredibly amazing that you don't have to hire at the high end. You can really focus on getting somebody that is so good at doing their job that they actually pull you through the rest of it. So I encourage you to think about, don't hire higher than you need, hire the right person for the job. The next thing I want to kind of point out is each level costs more money. And actually, as a rule of thumb, you can kind of double it. So if you have we'll make it really easy. We're going to hire a transaction specialist and for $50,000. A controller is going to cost us $100. A CFO is going to cost us $200. So as you think about what do you need in your organization, a lot of the CFOs aren't doing transactions anymore. I'll even be one that says, I'm not as fast at transactions as I used to be. And there are transaction specialists that they just roll their eyes at me. I recently had to help out, and I was doing some accounts payable work and getting some accounts payable into the software. And she told me how long it should take me to enter a single invoice. It took me double. True story. And I'm not as good at it. So you wouldn't want to hire a CFO whenever you need someone for transactions because, well, true, just being honest, I'm not as good as somebody who does it every day and just knows exactly what to do. And the third thing that we see for mistakes is thinking that you're going to hire somebody in and they don't need training. Even if you hire somebody in that has done construction accounting before, most of the time they haven't done construction accounting on your software, and at a minimum they would need some software training. You may also hire an amazing culture fit, person fit, so smart, but they've never done construction, you would then want to invest in some construction accounting training. So just remember that you can hire amazing people, but you still need to invest in training. Everybody was trained in something, including me. I wasn't born knowing construction accounting. I had training, I had mentors, I had coaches that helped me along the way, and your employees appreciate having resources. Okay, so now we're going to break down what each of those sections does. Again, you have to have all of them. They're all equally important. You want them all to be in your organization, but you can't move up in that pyramid unless you've got the foundational pieces there. So when we talk about transactions, we're talking about the things that are happening in your business every single day. AP, AR, payroll, job costing. Some of our transaction specialists also are involved in admin work on our jobs, and maybe some contract support, PO support. Having an amazing specialist that handles transactions, it's wonderful. And whenever you find this person, hang on to them because they make things run smoothly. You want to have somebody that is good at getting transactions in and in the right spot in an efficient and timely manner. And they know where it should go and they are consistent in putting in there. They're also very fast. Like I said earlier, that if it took a minute for somebody that was really great at this to enter an AP invoice, it will take me 3 minutes. Reconciliations is our next piece, and this can be done by a lot of different people. It doesn't have to be an accounting manager or controller. It doesn't have to be a transaction specialist, but this reconciliation piece is often missed. It also can be done by a bookkeeper or even an outsourced person. The most common thing we think about is bank rec. Yes, bank rec is important, but there's other reconciliations that have to be done. In fact, your entire balance sheet needs to be reconciled. The WIP report needs to be done with the journal entries. And once you then are through your reconciliations, you can move to financial statements. Everybody wants a set of financial statements that they can trust. In order to get trustworthy financial statements, you guessed it, you got to have your bottom 2 layers below that working and consistent, accurate, and complete. So we can't skip to financial statements if we don't have our transactions in and reconciled. Financial statements isn't limited to hitting the button. I'm going to hit print. Now you have financial statements. There is a method and a system to produce financial statements, especially for a construction contractor. So this is something that you want to make sure that they're trained in. They understand how to produce financial statements and that therefore you can rely on them. And finally, you'll get to the top layer of the pyramid, which is strategy and projections. As a CFO for the construction industry, we rely on all of those layers that come before the strategy and the projection. And we have to make sure that they're right, accurate, complete, and usable. So that thing that everybody wants, which is, oh, I would like to know how I do it in the future. I would like to have somebody talk to me about whether I should buy this piece of equipment. Yes, so important, so critically important, but you have to make sure everything is in place first. So think about this in your organization. If you're looking at hiring, think about the person that you need and what you need them to do, and that will help you so much get the right person. So do you need somebody to do reconciliations? Financial statements? Do you need more help on transactions, or are you ready for a CFO? So I was going to write one note and then I had to change it to notes because I was like, oh, I should put more. I got it, but I'm done after this, I swear. 3 things. Culture. You can't say enough about culture. If your culture is a learning culture and you hire somebody that's not interested in learning, you're going to immediately start butting heads. So understanding your culture and the person that you're bringing in is critical, regardless of what you're hiring them to do. You want them to just fit well. We have found that growing someone in an organization allows for an easier culture fit than bringing someone in at a higher level that maybe isn't used to your culture. Again, there's not good, bad here. It's just something to think about. As you hire someone in, it gives them time to grow with your culture versus if you bring somebody in at the top, they really need to be a culture fit right from day one. Training up works. We have trained part-time receptionists to do financial statements. True story. It is more about the culture fit and somebody that is willing to learn and wants to learn. And that can be a part of how you bring someone in. If you bring somebody in and they're really interested in growing, that gives you so much room in your hiring practices and what you can do in your organization. So think about, if you're hiring, whether they're interested in learning more, training, and growing their position. You don't have to have everybody in your organization has this, but if you have a few people, it does make a difference. And finally, consider outsourcing for the things that maybe are either outside what you're currently needing or possibly too expensive. A CFO is very expensive to hire, but you can outsource, and there's a lot of reputable outsourced CFOs that can help you with your business. And there's also outsourced controllers that can come and help you with financial statements. So just because you want that level of service, you don't have to hire that level of service full time. You can get other people to come in and provide that level while you make sure that the base of your pyramid is so incredibly strong with your transactions and reconciliations. Okay, I'm done. Thank you for joining me today. You can check out what's going on our website, atlascfo.com, and also check out the next video. Thanks.